and I wanted a piece of blueberry pie. So I went up and I asked this guy, but he only spoke Ojibwe. So I had to say, Minabushki Minasagani, Batusi Chikani, Bakwayshikan. 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 And I wanted a piece of blueberry pie, so I went up and I asked this guy. He only spoke Ojibwe, so I had to say, oh, yeah. Minabushki Minasagani, Batusi Jigani, Bakwayshikan. Minabushki Minasagani, Batusi Jigani, Bakwayshikan. Oh, Minabushki Minasagani, Batusi Jigani, Bakwayshikan. Blueberry pie. That was great, you guys. Hey, Boozhoo! Welcome back to the groovy show. I set some filters up to, I don't know. Maybe it's silly. Should I make myself bigger? Minabushki Minasagani, Batusi Chikani. How you doing, Boozhoo? And you know what? I'm gonna get rid of this thing. Dibik Jesus Moon. The Dibik Jesus. And here we are. So Boozhoo, everybody, welcome back to the Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo live stream early morning podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Brandy Marie is here. Mino Gigajib. Nice to see you, Brandy. Daniel Black is back. Boozhoo Niji. Jessica is here. Boozhoo Jessica. Oh wow, everyone's here, sweetie. Boozhoo, everybody. Happy Saturday morning. Yep. This is the same. These are the same people who would get up when they were little kids just early to watch Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, like before everybody else would get up. Yep. I mean, here it is. It's 6 a.m. And I'm guessing that back in the day, these people were up with their Raisin Bran. 3 scoops of sugar on top of that. Oh yeah, good thinking, Mom. Don't buy the sweet cereal. We'll just put a little bit of sugar ourselves on this, bran flakes. And then you would just put way more sugar than the factory would ever dare. Plop yourself down in front of the TV. Wait for the TV to get started. Because remember that back in the day when TV wasn't 24 hours? Yeah. You'd have to wait for the test pattern. Yeah. There'd be that test pattern. There'd be like the Indian head guy. And then that annoying beep. And then there'd be like the fighter jets. And they'd play the Star Spangled Banner. Fighter jets in front of the American flag. I guess as a warning to the other countries watching our TV shows that we were ready or something. And then finally, you'd have to sit through all that, and then Saturday morning cartoons would start. And they'd always start with the worst ones first, the cheapest ones, because they were saving Bugs Bunny and the popular shows for a little later, when the other kids would wake up. But I was up right away, just gonna watch like Saturday morning cartoons. And I remember there was a show called Hatland. It was part of the Sid and Marty Krofft guys, the same guys who made Sigmund and the Sea Monsters, Puffin' Stuff. I mean, talk about a couple of hippies. Dude, let's make a children's show with like a live puppet. And what should we call it? Oh, I don't know. How about Puffin' Stuff? That'll get the kids going. I mean, why do you think they called it Puffin' Stuff? Because they would puff, and then they would write some stuff and film it and put it on TV. And us kids would watch it. And they'd be like, hey, man, here's a good kid song. This song is called Puff the Magic Dragon. He's a magic dragon. And he's got a little boy named Jackie Papers. He loved that old rascal Puff. Old Jackie Papers. Because, back in the old days, they used to roll marijuana in paper. Today, children, our Ojibwe word of the day. Marijuana. No. But Jackie Papers loved that rascal Puff. Puff the magic dragon lived by the sea. Like in California, maybe. And la da 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 da, in a land called Honolulu. Little Jackie Paper loved that rascal Puff. And he'd roll a doobie and light it and suck it in his lungs. Whoa, Puff the Magic Dragon was an allegory for marijuana, and it encouraged children to try and smoke marijuana the first time. It was probably introduced by the CIA to make children passive and maybe even gay. Whoa, Puff the Magic Dragon, does it affect your testosterone? I just came up with a new conspiracy theory. Marijuana was introduced in the late 60s, early 70s by the CIA in pop culture, encouraged by the hippie movement, encouraged by songs like Puff the Magic Dragon, Puffin' Stuff, even those anti-drug TV shows, like, remember that one with, what's his name? Robbie Benson? Robbie Benson used to be in a lot of these after-school shows. And they'd be like, they always wanted to have a moral to the show. After-school specials, they were called. And there was one called Stoned. And it showed a young boy. He was a nice kid, Robbie Benson, going to school, probably, 8th grader, 9th grader. A few years older than us, watching this show. And he falls in with the wrong crowd. And he discovers marijuana. And then they show him sitting, laying back against couch with his buddy, smoking marijuana, watching cartoons and giggling. And then he made this secret little room underneath the stairs, and he put up like Christmas lights and his box, his radio. You could listen to music. And he had pillows and stuff down there, and he'd smoke marijuana and just veg out. And I think the story was, look at this kid, what a loser he became. I remember watching that going, hey, cool, man. What is that stuff called? Marijuana? I should make a little room under the stairs like that. We got some Christmas lights. I could do that. And the whole thing was basically encouraging you. You're like, you know, you get stoned with your friends. Like, hey, babe, let's watch Reefer Madness. Do you still have that on VHS? That's so funny. Let's get high and watch Reefer Madness. So in like a backhanded way, they encouraged what eventually became, now it's like legalized everywhere. And, what are the ramifications? Does it make a person want to decorate his house all weird and get all cozy and put gray, red filters on his lenses? I don't know. Is that how they get us? Nobody can decide on what is the stereotype of what marijuana does. Does it make you lazy or does it make you focused? Because like for some people, they say, oh yeah, I got the indica. It makes me sit in the couch. I can't get up. Oh, I got the sativa. I got the, I'm not sure what that is. But you hear once in a while people, like George Carlin used to have a bit about how he would sneak into the toilet on an airplane. This is back in the days when you could smoke on airplanes and smoke a joint. And then you'd end up just cleaning. And in the Anishinaabe way, cleaning is part of our way. It is part of Bamadiziyan. It's part of life. Which brings us to our OJIBWE word of the day. How's that for a transition, huh? That's pretty good. You done talking about marijuana? Yeah, probably. Today, children, Sesame Street is brought to you by the letter W for weed and the number 420. But our Ojibwe word of the day, let's see, where is what do I do with that? Here it is. Gizibigi Saganagay Gija Good. Floor washing day. Or Saturday. Gizibigi Saganagay Gija Good. Doesn't look that good with a blue. I should have made that kind of a red color. Anyway, in the Anishinaabe way, in the Anishinaabe history, I don't think we had words for the individual days of the week until boarding school days. You think so? Yeah, because I never heard of an Ojibwe word for Saturday that wasn't floor washing day. And so what did we call that day before we had floors? Wigwam sweeping day. Dirt floor sweeping day. But my theory is that when the boarding schools came and they were teaching the kids English, each day there were certain chores that would mark the day. And, they had class Monday through Friday. But then Saturday was cleaning up the barracks and the dorms and working, and became known as floor washing day. And so they called it Gizibigi Saganagay Gija Good. Gizibigi Saganagay is floor washing. And Gija Good is day. Oh, what a day. What a day to be alive. Early morning on a Saturday. Are we missing cartoons right now? I don't know. I don't know if they still have Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah, I mean, you can just pull up cartoons anytime you want. That makes it less special, though. Back in the old days, in the days of the grandfathers, when animated shows or something, and puppet shows, or something that you'd only see once a week, and let's face it, for like a 4-hour period, maybe 6-hour period, from 6 in the morning to by noon it was over, or I don't know. Seems like they'd be watching football or something by. So Saturday morning cartoons were just for a brief period of time, and it was unlike any other show you could watch on TV. And then they ruined them by trying to make them good for kids. They said like in the early 80s, they passed a law. A bunch of Karens got together and said, oh, children's television should be educational, like Sesame Street. It's like, yeah, that's real educational. What do you learn from Sesame Street? The homeless birds can grow to giant size. And men can grow green hair if they're homeless too long, living in garbage. That some people become addicted to cookies. That a frog can just traipse around naked and then hook up with a pig who wears clothes. I mean, that place is bizarre. What else is going on? So anyway, so they said, oh, you got to make your shows educational. So then it turned into G.I. Joe, at the end would have to have a little lesson. Now remember, kids, guns can kill too. So never play with guns. I'm G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Or whatever. And then they also had to they got shorter. They had to make room for more commercials. And so they started editing the cartoons from half an hour down to 22 minutes or something. And that's when Hanna-Barbera, they went from being really cool to being really stupid. Oh, crazy car races. So, I'm still kind of bent out of shape about what they did to Saturday morning cartoons. I know I should get over it. It's been a while. But I just can't. I can't let go. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Oh, I'm way behind. If the sun is up, I'm up, says Daniel Black. Good for you, Daniel. Early to bed, early to rise. Jessica says, haha, I totally remember just putting sugar on plain Rice Krispies. Or cornflakes. Yeah, same here. I mean, you could really make those non-sweet cereals sweet if you put enough sugar on them. I don't even buy sugar anymore. I don't know why my parents would have just bags of sugar. Daniel Black says, sugar was a staple of our diet back in the day. Yeah. I'm surprised I have any teeth left. That was a weird thing. Like when I was a kid, I had tons of cavities. It seemed like every year I got a new filling for about 6 years. Then, never had another one for the rest of my life. I mean, was it the Saturday morning sugar? Or were those dentists just kind of go, yeah, look, I found you can never double check. Yeah, your kid's got a cavity. I didn't just drill it into his tooth and then fill it with aluminum for some reason. You couldn't afford gold? Come on. Daniel says, I'm not getting the Puff reference. Of course not. Makes music sound better. Yeah. Jessica says, or like the DARE program that would introduce kids to drugs they would have to otherwise not heard of. Yeah, that's exactly right. Here's the names of all of them, how to use them. Yep, that was the first time I ever saw marijuana in real life, was when a cop came to our school and showed us little samples of all the different kinds of drugs there were. And my friend Mark, for a brief period, just stole it. They were passing it around on a tray. So he just grabs it and puts it into his pants. Just sits back and waits. And he just laughs and puts it back up there. I'm like, you guys. That guy was crazy. Jessica says, my brother-in-law got some kind of medical cannabis education. According to him, there's different varieties that can affect you differently, which is why it can make you either focus or lazy, etc. Yeah, that's really true. I mean, there's just so much propaganda that you don't know what to trust. And I almost hate looking into it because I can't tell if the propaganda is to scare us away from weed or to encourage it. Because especially when you realize all the lies about it. I remember the argument being, about like reefer madness and that. They'd say, they came out, it was so ridiculous, and they had such a scare campaign. that it made us not take them seriously when we learned about meth and heroin and stuff. And it's like, no, there's a big difference, you guys. It's not the same thing as meth. And frankly, it's not the same thing as alcohol. But there was a culture war behind it. People who were like pro-weed and really anti-laws against it. It's like, who are you to tell me what I can't do with my own body? It's like, that's right. My body, my choice. And then years go by, and pretty soon you can't become a president without admitting that you've smoked weed. And it makes me suspicious. I was like, okay, why are you guys so okay with this now? You can choose a ready guide in some celestial voice. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. But the old saying is, if you've never smoked it, you're against it. If you've ever smoked it, you're for it. I don't know what I think. I guess I'm for it. La, la, la. So yeah, that's the Ojibwe word of the day, children. Welcome to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo. I don't work at a school anymore, so I can say whatever I want. That was always a question kids would ask you, like on the first day. Do you smoke pot? I would never have asked that of an elder in a million years when I was a kid. I was like, how dare you? But now, these days you got to dance around the subject. But if I did or if I didn't, I'd be afraid to tell you kids because I work at your school. So they all go, oh, by not saying you haven't means you have. I'm like, okay. What do you want from me? Is anybody surprised? Long-haired, guitar-playing, cartoonist guy. So, yeah. I am sort of anti-drinking, though. That's one of those things, if you've ever done it a lot, you become anti-drinking. I'm like one of those preachy ex-smokers, The people are so obnoxious when they quit smoking and they have zero tolerance for cigarettes. Oh, that stinks. How can you do that? I smoked for 10 years and quit. I'm like that with alcohol. Like, well, I quit. You should too. So yeah, don't quit. Have fun, you guys. I remember when I learned what prejudice meant from Sesame Street, and then told my grandma she was being prejudiced one time. Yeah. Did Sesame Street teach you about being mouthy to grandma? Jessica Gonzalez says, my brother-in-law got some... Oh, wait. I already read that. Yeah. Sesame Street. They've just got free reign to say anything they want to the children. Everybody trusts Sesame Street because, they got the greatest branding. Everyone assumes if it comes from Sesame Street, it must be wholesome and educational and probably like multicultural or, something really great that way. And I don't watch it anymore. I have a really hard time getting through it. I hate to say that because Jim Henson was such an inspiration. But it's so dumbed down. I'm not sure the audience, the content is for somebody who's 5 years old, but then they'll have like celebrity guests. They'll have like Grover singing with Dave Matthews. Like, who's this show for now? And then every once in a while you hear a news story about Sesame Street. And they're like, oh, they're introducing a new child who's a foster child. This is, Betty Sue, and she's a transgendered, whatever. You're like, okay, Sesame Street. I know you're getting the script from, whatever overlords you serve, but Sunny day. Wisini. Boozhoo Wisini. Wisini. Did I miss the Ojibwe strain of the day? The Ojibwe word of the day. Kazibigi Saganagay Guja good. Floor washing day. We should wash our floors today, you guys. It is the day to pull out that vacuum cleaner. Yes, it needs to be pulled. You can't. For a month, you've been saying, I'm going to vacuum one more time, and then I'll empty the bag. Just go empty it. It's time. And yeah, grab all that hair and stuff. It's gross. I mean, nobody likes to vacuum because, you put it off. But today is the day to wash that floor. And it's the day, get the rugs out of the kitchen. Take them outside, shake them off, and vacuum. You can vacuum the rug too. Just because you shake it doesn't mean it doesn't need a good vacuuming. Get on the old hands and knees. Wash the floor. Get a big old bucket. Actually, I hear that if you want to wash your floors, you should just put on a old pair of socks. And then just give it up. You're going to get your feet wet anyway. Use your feet because you have so much more pounds of pressure. You can really wash that floor. I say all this, but I guarantee I'm probably not going to wash the floors today. You're not? No. Sunny day. Brandy Marie. Hey, Boozhoo, Brandy. Says, hate to leave so soon, but have a busy schedule. Have a great day. We'll catch the rest of the show at some point today. You too, Brandy Marie. Mino Gija good. Gigawaba Min. Minowa. I'll see you again. So yeah. It is the floor washing day. Mina bashki mina sagani batu sejikani bakwejikan. Yeah. Any phone calls today? Nobody so far. Yeah, we forgot to do that. All right. Sweetie, you want to get up here and say hello to the people? Sure. Okay, folks. I'm going to play another song, and then we'll get Natasha up here. This song was written by Michael Lyons, and it's called Earthling Sun. Earthling Sun. It's about aliens. Late last night in my bedroom, a stranger came from beyond the moon, and he said he was here to learn and to teach that which was beyond our reach. His eyes were huge and his mouth was small. He moved like liquid at 4 feet tall. I was so scared I was screaming inside. Then he gave me a smoke. It eased my mind. We spoke about space and a lost earthling lover. I felt kind of strange when he asked, how's your how's she been since I've been away? Casting shadows from electric blue light, an alien sat on my bed. reflection in his ebony eyes. Then I knew the truth and I knew the lies. He said, you're my flesh and my blood, you're my precious one. You're my flesh and my blood, but it's time to go. My earthling son, it's time to go. Earthling son, it's time to go. Earthling son, it's time to go. Earthling son, it's time we go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to Oh, that was cool. Boozhoo, everybody. How you doing? Natasha Nindijanika. Natasha is my name. And, oh, I love that song. Earthling Sun. With, Stephen, the alien. Stephen A. Leon, as he's called. Stephen's on the cover of, OJIBWE. And that's a book by Michael. It's a bunch of cartoons and some Ojibwe language. And then the story of Little Cutie. So click the link if you like some of Michael's cartoons. He's got a bunch of books. You guys know this here in the live stream, but in the description you can connect to Amazon.com and shop for books in Ojibwe language. Or just there's some comic books. I guess everything has something to do with Ojibwe. But Michael's the cartoonist. So, let's see who's here. Daniel Black's here. Boozhoo. Daniel, it's Natasha time. It's Natasha time. It's peanut butter jelly time. Brandy Marie. Boozhoo, Brandy. Dump the vacuum cleaner bag every time you use it. Yeah, I know. You're kind of supposed to, yeah. If not, it will smell like stinking socks. That's why it always stinks when we you run the vacuum cleaner. Plus, we've never changed the what's that called? The filter? I know. How many years has it been with the same filter? I know. And they're probably like $3 or something. But nope. Never once thought of it when we were in Walmart. So, I have to give a shout out to my local grocery store. I think it's called Marketplace. Go there every week. We went to Walmart the other day and got a whole bunch of groceries. And it was just soul crushing. You go in there and there's a bunch of zombies walking around. There's no way. You got to check yourself out. It's just, you leave there just in a bad mood. Everything about bad customer service is in Walmart, You just treated like cattle. You got to wait and, it's just the worst. But then yesterday we go to our local grocery store. No mask. Walk in there. People are smiling. Chatting you up. Nobody gave you a bad look or anything. Get all your groceries. There's way fewer people in there. And you walk right up to the counter. No line. They check you out. There's 2 people there to help you. And a gentleman goes, "Can I help you with your groceries to your car?" I go, "No, it's okay. I can take care of it." And I walk out of there, and I know it's supposed to be like commonplace. But suddenly I was like, wow, I was treated like a human being, not like a undead zombie, from the apocalypse. So, yeah. the masks are coming off, and the normals. I mean, I used to call the normies the people who didn't see through all this stuff. But now I'm starting to see the normies are the ones who are going, yeah, I'm not wearing 3 masks, okay? We played along for your flattening the curve thing for the few months, but now we're gonna start acting like normal human beings again. So yeah. So some people in Bemidji have been really cool about no mask. And then, I think that's part of the, psychological operation that's going on. They want to show a lot of stories of people, getting accosted for not wearing a mask. And you think, oh, I'm one of the non-crazy people because, I would never treat somebody that way. But most people wouldn't treat anybody that way, But we always see, oh, here's a person went into Trader Joe's in California or something. And, they were tarred and feathered because he wasn't wearing a mask. And so you think, geez, they're going to do that to me. But they don't. They're like, hey, how you doing? This is Minnesota. We're not going to say a thing. We're way too nice and, self-conscious for that. Oh, they wouldn't be polite. You must be polite. So I don't know. Yeah, it's not our way. That's one thing I gotta say about people from small towns in Minnesota. Everyone rolls their eyes at the idea of Minnesota nice. They go, yeah, Minnesota nice to your face. Minnesota passive aggressive maybe. But you're not really nice. You just don't say anything. I'm like, yeah, but that's our way. Sorry. No, we're not going to give you an honest answer. We don't respect, forthrightness. You keep that to yourself. Yeah. You're probably never going to know who I voted for. You're not going to really know what I feel about homosexuality, about transgenderism. You're not really going to know what a Minnesotan thinks about whether or not, most of our opinions, we're going to kind of read the room. And if somebody disagrees, we're just not going to bring it up. It's like, oh, that guy over there, he believes in a Big Bang. Well, I'm not saying a thing. Oh, I hear you had an abortion. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. And that's why this is no social shame. It's going, even like pedophiles will get like let out of jail and they'll be like the notice on Facebook, oh, by the way, pedophiles moving to your neighborhood. And the neighbor's just like, well, I'm not going to say anything, but you kids just stay away from that guy's house, all right? They put a notice up. If anything happens, that's on you. But nobody wants to make a stink. That's northern Minnesota. That's not Minneapolis, by the way. Now I hear they have an autonomous zone around the George Floyd Memorial. I was like, oh, that's nice. Big old, like, picket fence. Not picket fence, but, like, barricade says, no cops! This is an autonomous zone. No justice, no peace. It's like, would you just cut it out? That's not Minnesota nice. You might be, well, it's not my place to say. Didn't seem prudent to put a knee on the neck, but, I wasn't there, so I'm not going to say anything. That's the northern Minnesota way. Southern Minnesota is a different story. That's an entirely different culture. Anybody here from Minneapolis? Or as we call it up here, Murderapolis? Mini-crapolis? Yeah. I like, growing up in Minnesota, I have an image of Minnesota. It's like small towns, snow, old, But you meet somebody from anywhere else, and they go, "Oh, you're from Minnesota? Do you know Prince?" And you're like, "What? Oh, you're picturing me being from a place like, Minneapolis." No, that's not Minnesota. That's something else. That's Alphabet City or something. I'm going down to Alphabet Street. I'm gonna crown first girl that I meet. I'm gonna dance so sexy. You want me from my head to my feet. Oh, I'm Prince. Yeah, Prince, that's not our way. You don't sing about dancing and being sexy in the Minnesota way. Come on. I'm going down to Alphabet Street. I always want to say Alphabet City. I don't know what that is. But yeah, Prince. I mean, sure, we're kind of proud of him. I think most Minnesotans are just proud that there's a black person who's associated with our state. There's a lot of northern Minnesota people who've just never meet him. They're like, yeah, Black Lives Matter. If only I could. I don't have any black friends. There's that one family who lives in Tent Strike, but we don't have not a lot of diversity on the reservation. There's like two groups, vanilla and strawberry. No, vanilla and chocolate. That's what life in Minnesota is like. It's like that ice cream you used to get. What do they call it? Cosmopolitan. It had vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. It had white, red, and brown. The three races. Well, what about Asian people? We got some sherbet in the back. Got some yellow sherbet. What am I talking about? I don't know. Rick Blotcheck's here. Boozhoo, Rick. What's going on, my brother? Rick says, never thought about that. Brandy makes sense. Oh, I'm way behind. Great tip about emptying vacuum bag. Oh, yeah. Empty your vacuum bag. Does get pretty funky. Yeah, but Prince was funky and I don't remember hearing people complain. I'm going down to Alphabet Street. I'm gonna crown first girl that I meet. I'm gonna dance so sexy. You want me from my head to my feet. Yeah. I guess that's one good thing about Prince dying, is we didn't have to see him get older. Because it gets really, like, does Rod Stewart still sing, "And you want my body, do you think I'm sexy?" It's like, do I think you're sexy, Rod Stewart? In your wheelchair and your Depends? No. I guess the answer to that, Rod Stewart, would be no. We don't think you're sexy. And we never did. "And you want my body, do you think I'm sexy?" So stupid. Rod Stewart. Wow. I'm really going back in the old days. La 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 la. So yeah. Saturday morning cartoons. Gazibby geese are gonna gay. Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. Elton John said Saturday nights were all right for fighting. I never quite pictured Elton John going out and fighting. Did he really want us to believe he was a tough guy? Saturday, Saturday. What's another Saturday song? Saturday night. Saturday night. Saturday night. Oh, whatever. When I was a little girl, there was a show called The Bay City Rollers. And they were a real live action Saturday morning show. It was about a band, a real rock band called the Bay City Rollers. And I think they were like a new generation of the Monkees or the Beatles or something. And don't get me started. The Beatles are exactly like the Monkees. just actors set up. They wrote some cool songs, just like the Monkees did. But they were just brought out on TV, fed to us like a TV show. Hi, my name is Paul. I'm John. And as the culture changed, they changed. And some of those actors got swiped out. Paul McCartney died, and they brought in a new guy. And he was a good guitar player too, believe it or not. That guy learned how to play the bass right-handed or left-handed or whatever. You know, that's just crazy. So, Beatles, sorry, boomers. They were the Monkees, but that's fine. And they were the Bay City Rollers, who wrote a song called S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y. Night. S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y. I think they were Scottish. Daniel, I always forget where you're from. Are you from Scotland or England or are you? I want to say Daniel's Scottish, but I don't know why. You know, we do these shows so early in the morning, and I can never commit to memory what goes on. Grieving Turtle says, no, the Monkees are way better than the Beatles. Grieving Turtle likes the Monkees better than the Beatles. That's sacrilege. Do you know how many boomers you just set off right now? They're triggered. Their glasses are falling off their heads. Yeah, we used to, when I was in college, there was a jukebox in the local dive bar. All of us, grungy hippies would hang out. It was like homeless people and the college kids who would go to the same bar. And so it'd be like grungy people and young kids. And the favorite song that we get the whole bar singing was Daydream Believer and a Homecoming Queen. Cheer up, Fiddle-Dee. Whoa, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? We would crank that and just drunkenly be cheering each other, hugging up on homeless guys. I don't know if they're homeless. They were just like working class, dirty, rugged people who would go to this bar. Ralph's Bar. Anybody from Moorhead in the 90s remembers Ralph's Bar. Right across from Kirby's. Wasn't Kirby's the first place where you played in a band? No, I think the Coffee House was our first gig. But our first, Blissless's first gig was at Kirby's. Yeah, that was pretty great. No, that's not even true. We played at that biker bar with October. Oh, yeah. Michael got his start playing in bands in Moorhead. Take the last train to Clarksville. Da, da, da. Yeah, those guys are great songs. Dee-ree-da, walking down the street, not a living on money that you'll ever meet. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees. People say we'll monkey around. Hey, hey, we're Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo. And it's time that we took off. It's time to Mahjong. Gigawabam in Midawa. We gotta remake a Monkees tune. Yeah, okay. Look for the Monkees cover in upcoming episodes of Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This is Nanaboozhoo. That is Michael Lyons. And just want to say, miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching. And I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Midawa. Hoa. Have a great day, Boozhoo crew. We'll see you tomorrow. And live stream. Do-do-do.